Happy face. We got to start with music, man.
Hold on. I got it. Can I play the song?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the song.
Okay, cool.
You ready?
All right.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Let's go.
In the house.
What?
We got Chastity Dyer.
What's going on, Kobe?
Kobe Rex in
What's
the house.
up, Holden's in the house, brother. I appreciate you joining us. Lewis is in the house. Let's go.
Edwin Rivas, man, I saw your video, brother. Thanks for being available.
Dude, good job, bro. Good job. All right. You know what? Let me just, everybody's watching me dance on live, and I'm not sharing my screen. That's pretty sad, man.
Just dancing.
What is Scott doing, dude? He goes live and dances every morning. I don't even understand him. So he's just a whacker. Whack job. All right, you guys want some funnies for the people that showed up early?
Yeah, baby.
All right, so okay, here's the first one. So I'm writing this book. It's called Reverse Psychology. Don't buy it.
Yeah. That's a dad joke.
That's a dad. Here's another one. Did
you say dad or dead?
Dad would be good. That would be good.
Or dud.
All right, here's another one. If you if you miss jury duty at 5th grade, you might be a redneck. Here's it. One more.
He'll be here all day, folks.
If you hit a deer going 55 miles an hour and you call it fast food, you might be a redneck. All right, everybody. Welcome to MLO Live Show. I gotta come with some funnies, man. I gotta get us fired up. I gotta get us laughing, smiling, and having fun. So sorry about that. You guys want one more?
Sure.
Go for it. You want one more? All right. If all your cereal bowls say Cool Whip on the side, you might be a redneck. All right. No Fred Jigtos today. Woo! Let's go. All right. Welcome. Hey, man, I'm here with my dear friend Eddie Skinner, and if you just showed up, you missed some goodies. And I'm sorry about that. You have to go back and watch the recording. But Eddie Skinner, bro, I love you, man. And I want to start off with a prayer for our friends in Minnesota. I know we have some really, really, really close friends that were a part of that and were on TV last night. So Eddie, if you want to start with a prayer, and then we'll get into some stuff that we can talk about. So I appreciate you, brother.
Let's do it. God, thanks for today. Thanks for Scotty and for how he pours into our lives, and for the ministries he's had for so many years, and for Devin and Rick, and God, just the whole crew that pours into us. Our hearts hurt for the families in Minnesota. God, just for our nation as a whole. Lots of stuff this summer involving kids, floods in Austin and the shooting here. And God, it just reminds me how quickly life can change, and God, unexpected things can happen. And so I just pray that you would guard those families. You would just give them resolution, as Rick mentioned a little bit ago. God, help those kids that were involved that did not get shot. God, give them a peace. Philippians says a peace that surpasses all understanding. So God, I pray that you just sit down in their midst and help them to understand, help counselors to talk to them, and help them to just find a peace and a purpose in life as they move forward. And so, God, for those families that lost kids and those that are injured, we just pray for healing for them, and we trust you. So, God, thank you again for today. God, today is the only day we know that we have, and so I pray we'd live that to the fullest. We'd impact people around us. We'd love on them and encourage them, and God, we would say to the people in our family, the closest ones to us, how much we love them, knowing we may not get another chance. And we pray these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, dude. Love you.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Whew. Okay, it's hard to get going after that, but we got to do this, man. We got to keep going. So that's what they would want. So Eddie Skinner, you have some cool stuff to share with us, and dude, I want to applaud you, man. You're down in weight. I mean, if you turn sideways, we can't even see you. So I don't know what you're doing, but you wanted to talk about that a little bit, and I think it's huge that you can share that with us. So I'd love to hear what like introduce yourself, man. Where you at? Tell us a little bit about you.
Eddie Skinner, been in the mortgage industry since 2009, 8 and 9, end of 8, first part of 9, and met Scotty back. Scotty was coaching with another platform that we all know, and I met Scotty. I went to my broker that I was working for at the time, and I said, "Hey, man, I love this industry. I got a finance degree from A&M, and I love people. I pastored for 23 years, had a church split, so went in the mortgage business then." And I said, "Man, I love the business, but how do we get it? Where's it come from?" And still remember, Scotty, you know my buddy Jason. He says, "Man, it just comes."
He used to.
I thought, okay. And so I started looking for help. I just said, man, if that's the coaching I'm going to get here at this place, I need to go somewhere and find some coaching. And so I found Scotty. And Scotty, you've been a rock solid friend for 17 years, you know, in and out of different coaching platforms that you were doing and different stuff. We stayed in touch. And, you know, Scotty repeatedly told me over and over again, you probably remember this. It's like every time Scotty's the great teaser. So he always teases folks with all sorts of stuff. And I'd text Scotty at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. And I'd go, Scotty, man, do I need to do this? And it's like, Eddie, it's a shiny nickel. Keep doing what you're doing, you know? And okay. And so 3 or 4, 6 months later, I'd call him again. What about this? Eddie, keep doing what you're doing, you know? And so I've got, if you guys are familiar with the disc profile, I've got the squirrel syndrome. I'm an I off the chart. I'm like a 99% I. I've never met a stranger. I love hearing folks' stories. I love people, you know. I'm terrible at systems. And so, you know, I've got my son now, works with me, so, which is fantastic. He's great at all that stuff that I'm not good at. So I like talking to people. I'm embarrassed to say this, but at the same time, I think, Scotty, you kind of coached me on this. I don't even have a login to Arrive. And so we get deals in. I don't have a login to Arrive. I have to shoot a text to my processor to Reagan to say, hey, are we good? And they're like, yeah, we're good. Every now and then they'll pull me back into a file. But my job is to go hunt for people and find business and do that. We're not a huge, at one point we did, I think, $71 million as a branch. We dropped to 55. And then after the COVID kind of stuff, we've dropped down. We're doing about 30 million a year now. And so it's still a good living.
Yeah.
It still bothers me when you've dropped that much. You think, man, I've seen more production and stuff. And so I got a little slideshow to share with you.
I would love it, brother. Thank you so much.
On the weight stuff, my encouragement, I just turned 63. I weighed 231 in January, and everything hurt on me. My back hurt, my sides hurt. I'd sleep at night. My digestion was terrible. My joints hurt. I just felt bad. And so I've been doing carnivore, and I love meat. And so it's easy for me to just, man, give me meat, you know? And so I've lost 32 pounds.
Congratulations, bro.
My message for anybody that feels like, hey, my body's hurting, my message is this: it doesn't have to, you know. So
I think we were talking that you just thought it was old age. Like you and I had a conversation like offline, and you're like, man, I just thought it was me getting old, man. 63. Yeah. This is just what's supposed to happen, you know.
I bought into that lie.
Yeah.
And that's what I would just say to folks. If you feel poorly, man, do something about it. You know, find there's a ton of plans that work. So carnivore may not be for you, but there's a ton of plans that work, but you got to find a plan that works for you and then stick to it. You know, just like in the business, we got to stick to it. So
good stuff, man. Thank you. Congratulations, brother. You look good.
You guys may be way ahead of me on this stuff. And so I'm a slow learner. I'm an Aggie. You know, Coach Rick knows, you know, you got to break things down simple for me and stuff.
I think Kobe wore the shirt for you today. He's got a burgundy shirt on. So I think Kobe's like, dude, Eddie's showing up. I got to wear the shirt.
There you go, baby. That's awesome. Well, let me share my screen. I got a quick little slideshow. I'm not gonna go through every detail of the slides, but I'll send this to you guys if you want. I did some research on this stuff for my own sake and want to share this with you. So let me see if this will work.
Isn't that the best way to learn, Eddie? Just like, man, when you're gonna give a presentation, you gotta like research stuff, and then you're like, oh, didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. Scotty talked to me about 2 weeks ago, and he said, okay, you're presenting next Thursday. You better get together. So, okay. So, hey, so I had not gone to, can you guys see that screen?
Yes, sir. We got you.
I had not gone to any conference. Mary Lee had invited me to several, Rick's invited me, I had just not gone to any conferences for about 2-3 years. And one of our guys found the Originator Connect conference in Las Vegas about 2 weeks ago and said, hey, let's go to that. And I said, what the heck? So I told Faye, Vegas is not really my deal, but I just felt like, man, I need to do something. And so went to Vegas, and let's see if I can get this to work. I was tired, man. I was just tired. We were still doing business, but I was tired. I had made a personal goal of losing 32 or 40 pounds. I'd lost 32. I got fired up about the business again, needed to become an expert. And so here was the deal that they taught. How many of you guys do, I can't see everybody's faces, but how many of you guys do non-QM stuff?
Okay, everybody.
I think we all do. Yeah. Pretty much everybody. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I started doing it, and we've been doing 1 or 2 a month, and so we've really supplemented our income by doing that. My son was against that because he handles most of the loan details. He said, man, Dad, I don't want to do any of that stuff. And I said, hey, we're not really in the position to be real picky at this point. We don't have the volume we had before. And so I said, we got to learn some new stuff. And so we learned the non-QM. We've been doing a lot of DSCR stuff. I got one agent. My most consistent agent is a Spanish-speaking agent downtown Houston. So we're in the Houston area, who fell in love with the DSCR stuff. And she probably sends me 1 or 2 DSCR loans for Spanish-speaking clients every month. She understands it, and she does all the work on it. She puts the file together. She translates for us. She does all the stuff. And I think, man, talk about outside the box. I'm doing these DSCR loans with this Spanish-speaking, realtor who's very faithful, loves me to death, and she does all the work.
Let's hear your Spanish, Eddie.
¿Cómo se llama? Yeah. I'm weak at it.
See?
Hey.
See?
I went to Mexico once with a mission trip, and you guys that speak Spanish, you're going to hear me say this. You're going to say, man, don't say that. But I went up to the pastor. I was trying to impress him. I said, ¿Cómo es tu madre? And he goes, oh, do not say that. And I said, what? I just asked, how's your mother? And he said, no, you said, how's your mama? And I said, I didn't say that. And so that was the end of my Spanish.
That was the end of it, yeah.
So
love it.
So anyway, went to Las Vegas, got fired up about, what was going on, and started looking at these non-QM loans. And so I want to give you just a couple of stats. That platform is growing like crazy. And so you look at it in 2023, they originated 38 billion, 2024, 70 billion. And in 2025, they're forecasting that we'll do $100 billion worth of non-QM loans.
Wow.
And the reality is we've got more and more people that are stepping into that self-employed kind of, non-traditional workforce that are making boatloads of money, but they don't fit into our boxes. And so I came back fired up about getting involved with non-QM stuff, still doing the regular stuff we do, but came back with a game plan and said, man, I'm gonna attack this non-QM space. I got one last night. I was at a Bible study for a church. I got one last night from one of the realtors. I just mentioned DSCR, and he said, you do DSCR? I said, yeah. And so he sent me, I got a client to call this morning, another one. And I think, man, that's a wide open field for us. Lots of traditional lenders just don't want to mess with that. They don't want to think outside the box. They're not hungry. you know? And so for me, I came back and said, hey, I want to be an expert at this. Let's see here, going too fast. Look at this 16.2 million self-employed people in the US right now.
Wow.
33.2 million small businesses. The gig economy. Anybody heard that phrase before?
Yeah. What is it?
Who knows what gig economy is? Lynn, you look like you did. What is it?
My interpretation of gig economy is like a bunch of part-time, or really what kids are doing these days. They earn income from a variety of different sources, and none of it is traditional in the way that we grew up.
Right. When you think about a musician goes and plays a gig. So they may play a gig over here, and they play a gig over here, and you know, they end up making a lot of money. But if we came in and said, hey, you know, all of a sudden we got to show up 2 years worth of taxes, you know, and so that is growing more and more. And so we've got to be open to, and I'm 63. You know, I had a pastor one time tell me I'm 50. I can't change. And I thought that was the sign for me as a staff member to get out of Dodge, because I thought, man, if you are unteachable at whatever age you're at, you're in trouble. And so I look at all the AI stuff. Devin's been teaching some of that and different things. All the AI stuff kind of rocks my world. I think, but what I found is, for me personally, if I am content with being comfortable, I'll never grow. You know, if I get comfortable being uncomfortable, I can grow. And I think it's a sad state for any of us to say, in whatever field we're doing, whatever we're learning, whether it's trying to lose weight, trying to get in better shape, trying to be a better golfer for me, whatever, man, I need to be I got a 9 handicap. That's not
Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane.
I got a 9 handicap. I play with guys that are 3s and 4s, and man, they make me feel uncomfortable. But I think that's how I'm getting better, is by pushing myself, you know. And so I was just going to ask you guys, who is it in your life right now that's making you uncomfortable?
In a good way or bad way?
Say it again.
In a good way or bad way, or both? In a good way.
In a positive
way, yeah. Like, who's making you feel uncomfortable?
Hard questions. You know, the Bible talks about, hey, a friend tells the truth in love. You know, I had a friend yesterday. He's the head of the Chamber of Commerce in Tomball, and I met him at a coaching event yesterday. And I was telling him my story. He's gained about 70 pounds since I saw him last. He's kind of hobbling around his knees. He's a great guy. But I told him, I said, hey, Bruce, now I'm just telling my story, losing 32 pounds. I don't hurt anymore. Come on, let's hold each other accountable. And so he left. He sent me back a text. He said, you made my day. I love you. And I thought, okay, I took a risk there. I knew, hey, it's a little risky to say, hey, Bruce, come on, you don't have to do that, you know, and come on. So anyway, gig economy, we've got to learn it. We've got to keep moving forward. So
love it.
So we just talked about that. So here's the opportunity. Traditional mortgage marketing is tightening more and more. You get these deals, you work them. I kill myself. I get their credit scores up. Man, we just bust our tails for these folks. And then we go under contract. We've done pre-quals for, you know, Fridays and Saturday nights, weekends. We've talked to listing agents. We've helped them secure the deal. And then what do?
Like,
you know, I gotta shop you.
Go to the
Yeah, I gotta go shop you. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? You know, it's like, we've busted our heinies for you. We've asked for commitment all the way through, and then they switch for an 1/8 of a point or something. And so what I found, you guys tell me if this is true for you, with the non-QM stuff, they don't shop you. Man, they're just thankful to get the deal done. You know,
they get it. They get it at a higher level, I think. They understand it. They understand what you're doing for them. You're self-employed.
Absolutely.
They're self-employed. You're self-employed. I think it's more of a respect.
We've got 2 deals right now that will close in the next 2 weeks. Non-QM space. One's a bank statement loan. One's a DSCR loan. $2.1 million.
Wow.
And they're not shop. That's making my quarter.
Yeah.
You know, income wise, it's like, okay, it's just good stuff.
Good for you, bro.
Let me keep firing through this, and then we'll talk about. I really want this to be a discussion because I think I can learn from you guys as much as you can from me. Flexible underwriting. When I was at Las Vegas, we had a deal that was kind of stuck, and one of the guys says, ask for an exception. He was on the panel, and he said, man, ask for an exception. You can get exceptions. And so I shot Reagan a text, and I said, hey, on that one particular deal, reach out to our rep and ask him if we can get an exception. You know, and so he reached out. I mean, it was that one nugget. You know, I did not ask for the exception on that deal. That one nugget, he fires it off and copies me in on the text, and the guy comes back and says, yeah, I think we can do that. Wow. It's like, wow, that was an $8,000 question there. You know,
so it's back to just asking.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Just, you know, Jason, my original buddy that got me in the industry, he gave me this principle. He said, hey, you need to always ask yourself, if it were your money, would you lend it to these people?
Yeah, good question.
And he said, if you can't answer yes to that, you should not be trying to get a loan approved. But if you believe in the deal, you believe in the people, you know, and these non-QM stuff, you talk to some folks that they're loaded, and you think, why the heck would we not offer them something? And so we've got several. So the bank statements, the DSCR is one we do more often than not. Asset depletion, interest only options. Anybody signed up with Deep Haven?
I've heard of it.
Yep.
So I was real impressed with those guys, and so we're pursuing signing up with them. They've got a lot of different packages and a lot of different options. I want my realtors to know, hey, if you got somebody needs a loan, call me. You know, it's like we're gonna go find it. You know, I look at Ferris and some of the stuff. I don't know if he's on here or not, but you know, I've talked to Ferris. I've talked to, I think her name is Katie.
Yeah, Katie Curry. Katie Curry.
Yeah.
Kobe's a beast too, man. Kobe's a beast on loans, man. That's why he's all over this.
We got you, Eddie. We got you, man. Whatever you need.
Hey,
I like the non-QM space too. To instead of losing all of my HELOCs to credit unions,
yes.
Like that's been one that's been really fun too.
We've run a couple through you guys already on that, and so you know. So I think if there were one message that I want to kind of share with everybody, and you again, I think you guys are way ahead of me on some of this stuff, but man, think outside the box. Love people. Look for creative stuff. Look at you know, I'm just clicking through some stats.
Hey, real quick, Eddie, if you want to reach out to Kobe Rex, he might be able to help you with that. She's got a non-warrantable condo, Kobe?
Oh yeah, non-warrantable condo. That's every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
That's easy.
You want to? I'll connect you to.
Okay. Perfect.
Hey, those are the outside the box things. You just got to know the right people. You know, you don't even have to be an expert on it. We've got trusted folks that we can go to, talk to. You know, again, Ferris. I've known Ferris for the longest time, so Ferris is one that I trust to reach out. I need to get your number, Kobe, so I can start sending it to you and not bug Ferris. You know, but we've been working with Kate. You know, so
well, I'm a low little fish on his team, so yes, you can definitely call me anytime.
Eddie, if you ever need traffic directed to, I got you, man. So
okay,
and I work with Kobe every day.
If you ever need like what to play in Vegas, let me know. I got you, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if this helps. I just want, this is like my favorite line for self-employed though, is like, what right does the IRS tell a self-employed person that they get to say whether or not they're approved for a home? Like, what right do they have for us to have to ask the question, what should we claim under taxes? When like I get somebody all the time that shows like maybe $6,000, $7,000 taxes, hasn't filed in the last year.
Right.
And I'm running it through the calculators, and I can use like, you're using the receipts coming through their business account, and like literally I'm getting anywhere between $30,000 to $70,000. You put a little expense ratio on that, and it is just so powerful to get to have that conversation with the self-employed person and be like, the answer is now yes.
Yes. Yeah. This lady and her husband are loaded. They're doing a $1.2 million cash out refi to buy a $1 million property in Colorado and do some renovations and all sorts of stuff. And so we're doing a bank statement loan, and they easily qualify for that. But through the regular guidelines, we couldn't do it. And I thought, okay, this is crazy. You know, it's those type of people. I still check my gut and say, hey, do you believe that these folks deserve a loan? You know, would you loan them your own money if you had that much? And if the answer is yes, man, fight like crazy to find a source. I think, you know, Devin, if you say, hey, if we come to you with, you know, scenarios and say, hey, you know, what about this? You know, so, or whoever the scenario did, I don't want to be peppering you with all that, but, you know, I appreciate the offer for me to do that. And, you know, that's what I tell my son. It's like, hey, you don't even have to know if you believe this is a doable deal, you don't have to know even the intricacies of the whole loan process. You just got to know that it's out there, you know, and that would be my encouragement to everybody. If you're not doing those things, just say, hey, I'm just going to run scenarios past Devin or Scenario Desk or whoever, and not walk past deals. If I walked past those two deals, I would be losing about $35,000 worth of income in those two deals.
Crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
And so
good stuff, brother.
Anything, 30% of the workforce right now is self-employed or freelance. They gave several stats. Last month, 55% of the business was purchase business. 40% was refis, which when I heard that, I thought, man, I've been postponing telling my guys to refi because I thought, hey, it's just not time yet. But what I was kind of kicked in the cojones with is, hey, it's not your decision, it's their decision. You need to be having the conversations with them and kind of walking through, hey, where are you at? What's going on? What's happening with debt? What's going on? You know, and then the HELOCs, 5% HELOCs, if they've got the 2% interest rate, but they got lots of equity in there, run it through a HELOC and get that. The problem in Texas, Mary Lee, this is trying to do 2 HELOCs. If they've already done a cash out, we have a hard time doing another HELOC. So I don't know if any of you guys are in other states. Is that the case for y'all?
No.
Yeah. That's a big stop.
Refinance is also an interesting one too, is because I just worked a refinance of a cash out for them to buy another house because the other house was going to be too complicated. So always assuming it's doing a refinance just for rate, there's other opportunities to do just besides a rate reduction.
Absolutely. Yeah. The two refis, the big ones, the bank statement and the DSCR, those are both ones that we couldn't do any other way. And so it's just what I find for me personally is when I get tired, my creativity goes away. And
gotcha.
I quit dreaming. I quit looking outside the box. I just get tired. I get frustrated. And I think learning curve for us when we're working with our agents is, hey, that's how they feel right now.
Yeah.
And so trying to encourage them, hey, let's get healthy first. Let's be healthy personally, and then let's do business better. I think too many times we try to do and then be, and we get in trouble. We need to be healthy, and so for me personally, that's physically, spiritually, emotionally. It's going on a date with Faye. It's like, I've been married 39 years. I still chase her around the house, pat her on the butt, and flirt with her, and she's like, hey, stop. I'm like, okay, do you want me to not be interested in you? It's like, you still turn my crank. I still want to chase you around the house. It's like, hey, that, and we got an empty house. It's like, let's run around naked in this place. It's like, let's have some fun. And
Eddie, you did that when I was there, man. So, man, come on, man.
Yeah, come on. We were like,
no time like the present, Eddie. Let's go.
That's right. Stay upstairs, Scotty. Stay upstairs.
Right. Let me know when I can come down.
Yeah. Well, anything else, Scotty? We've talked about a bunch of stuff, but anything else that
Eddie, I just want to thank you, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for bringing all this stuff to, just like collaborating with us. And Eddie, thanks for bringing this to the forefront. I know it's been a big deal for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are not sure how to get into it. And that's what we're here for. Like, we got a whole we have a TPO program. I hate to say it, but we do have a TPO program at Premier. So we do, like Eddie said, we do have a a no income bridge loan that we're going to be launching here. Like, I think we got $100 million coming for that, Devin, I believe is what I was just told a couple days ago. So no income bridge loan.
Funding.
We might have some funding. A little bit of funding coming. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Scotty's kicking him half of his war chest.
10% of my income's going into the So I'm gonna
100 million.
100 million.
Hey, can I jump in and talk about your bridge loan at Premier?
Yeah.
No, please don't at all, Marilee.
No,
Reverse
I've been one of
psychology.
your
Don't
beta
use it.
Testers, you know,
Yeah.
kind of the test dummy is what I started calling it, and someone said that was negative, so I couldn't call myself a test dummy. But you know, I like beta testing. But I tell you
That's
what,
smarty.
this is one of the best products I've ever had, you know, as a broker and in Texas, because funny story, I had a client qualified with the bridge loan at Premier, and the offer went into a listing agent, and the listing agent called me and said, what is going on here? I don't understand this. How are you doing, you know, zero down financing on whatever? I mean, it was just whatever was in the contract. And I said, well, this is a new product from a real good friend of mine that, you know, created this product because, you know, he asked me, he goes, what are your needs? And I said, well, in Texas, I've got, my biggest need is I can't get a bridge loan from any of my normal non-QM. And so, you know, I like to think that Ferris created for me. I'm sure that's not true, but you know,
he brings your name up all the time. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what's going on there, but he does.
Anyway, that listing agent said, you know, I thought that was unheard of, and now I've got that listing agent as a client who is pouring deals into me. I haven't done a bridge loan for him yet, but because I had something unique, and it just got the appetite going. So
love it.
Great product. When you guys officially launch it, it's going to be massive. Because I mean, it is really, I've done, I think 3 bridge loans with you guys now with Premier.
Well,
great product.
To Marilee's point, you know, we're pressure testing it because we want to make sure that when we launch it out to, you know, all of our broker family out there, that we can do it and execute on a high level, right? So like, if you guys want to get reserve and like, hey, I'm next, I want to be a part of that, ping Coach, ping Scotty, right? We'll make sure that we get you guys lined up for the program because our brokers are our family too, right? You know, so we support you guys. And thanks, Marilee, for the shout out. It is a great program. It's different than a lot of the bridges that are on the market. And what Ferris did, because he was in the broker space for a long time, is he knew there was a need for that product. There was a gap there, and he wanted to create one that was actually for you guys. So, Marilee, you're right. It was created for you.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, let us know, man. Like in when we're full blown, I know we're really close to. We're still working on Devin knows more than I do. Coach Rick knows more than I do, but reach out to Coach Rick, Devin, and myself. I'll point you in the right direction for not only the bridge loan, but the DSCR and the bank statement loans too. So we have some pretty unique products. I know Eddie's using all those.
Well, our DSCR too, the pricing is substantially improved over a lot of the banks.
No prepay, no points.
It's a home run.
Yeah, it's a home run. Yeah, good stuff.
Hey, there's something to be said if you haven't stepped into non-QM. There's something to be said about just having great partners. And so I think if you reach out to Devin and Ferris and get signed up with the team and look at it and say, hey, just having some people you trust, you know, is key, because sometimes you get in some wobbly waters and you just need somebody that's going to help navigate that with you and walk you through it. So, hey,
can I jump in and say one more thing about Eddie? So I met Eddie. We're at a previous coaching company. Met Eddie at a great conference in Puerto Rico. Got to sit by the pool with his lovely wife. Got to know Faye so well. It was just wonderful. And I feel like thanks to Coach Rick, who his superpower is connecting people.
Yep.
Rick was my coach. Anyway, it was really cool because I met so many people, became really close to them. And even though, you know, I still don't really work. I mean, we all work for different companies, but here's what was unique about Eddie. I was really struggling at the time with a processor who I needed to get rid of. and I didn't know what I was going to do. And just because of the friendships and the relationships that I built, and, you know, our group texts and just phone calls, you know, all the time, Eddie said, you know, I've got a processor, a third-party processor. Why don't you give Anna a call? I think she has some room to do, you know, more work. So I called Anna, and this has been, gosh, what, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Anna's a rock star. She can't fit any more people in, so don't even bother calling her. But you know,
that's because Mary Lee's doing so much business. I'm like, Anna, can you do something
maxed out
now?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
that's right.
Okay, here's what's cool.
Eddie's
we all
hundreds.
work for different companies, but we're all here because of our networking. Ferris brought me DSCR and bridge loans. Eddie helped me get a superstar processor. We are not competitors. We are not competitors. And Eddie is, I would say, probably one of my best friends now, along with Rick, Devin, you know, Ferris. It's a great community, and we all help each other out, and we are here to make each other better. And thanks, Scotty, for giving us this great platform to be able to.
Well, you know what? If they want to meet us all in one place, most of us are going to be getting together in February at MortgageCon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I put the link in there. So MortgageCon 2026, one of the best coaching events, and family friendly, and time to be with everybody. It's one of the most unique events I've ever attended.
That's where Marilee and I reconnected. She's like, I was standing right next to her, and she heard my voice. She's like, Scotty? Like, is it how? I don't know how many years it was.
Scotty, I ushered you into your booth.
You did,
and talked to you, and then I walked away. I didn't recognize you. Talk about somebody who's lost a lot of weight. I did not recognize you. Then I walked away, and I was standing somewhere else, and I heard this voice. I go, "Gosh, that sounds like Scotty." And I hadn't seen you in I don't know how many years. So anyway, great conference, great connection. This is a great group. Thank you.
Well, Marilee, I'm going to say too, I was at that event in Puerto Rico, and I remember walking down the streets of San Juan with you and Eddie and Faye and Richard Smith, and you know, we just had the best afternoon connecting and getting to know each other. And you know, Eddie, I think at some point in time, I think we might have shared a moment where everybody was crying together.
That happens a lot when we get together, man.
At dinner, man. You know, well, no, just, you know, it's just a
good
spiritual
stuff.
connection.
Good crowds.
So thank you guys, man. Seriously, you know, everybody here is amazing. And Scotty, thank you for bringing us all back together, because you know, it's been a while since we've all been reconnected in one place every day. So this is really special.
Good stuff. Yeah. So, hey, do me a favor. Invite your LO friends. This is like, we're just trying to help people. I'm trying to give back, zero expectation of anything in return. And as you can see, all my friends that I hang out with, Eddie and Marilee and Rick and Devin and everybody else that's been on the show, we're just givers, and we truly, from the bottom of our hearts, want to help people and help people to have the success they want to have. Everybody's got different levels of success. So wherever you want to be, we're here for you to help you. So appreciate you guys. I know it's Thursday. I'm always bummed on Thursday. Monday is a holiday, so we won't be on Monday. So I hope everybody has an amazing 4-day weekend. You guys are awesome. And if you haven't joined the awesome group, that's growing really fast. We're almost at 100 already. So I'm just sharing. It's more of not so much work. It's more Edwin posted a video in there. Congratulations, man. That was awesome. So
mine's coming in at half an hour.
Okay,
I'll get mine in there. I was challenged.
I nominated Marilee. And then Marilee has to nominate 2. So I'm forcing people to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So Marilee will nominate 2 people in the group, and then it'll just keep going. So my goal is to have people getting comfortable being uncomfortable doing video. And so here we go, man. So go ahead and check out the group. It's what is it called? Awesome Zone. So if you look up Awesome Zone on Facebook, it's there. So if you're not part of it, let me just grab it real quick before we head out, and you guys can go.
Hey, Scotty, is I don't know Jerry, so you guys know Jerry Holcomb?
Yeah.
Is he still on here? I can't see him.
I think so. And Yolanda has a question too before we go. So
shout out. And somewhere in the notes here it said he lost 80 pounds. That's awesome.
What? Come on, boy. I missed it. There were so many comments in there flying through. So congratulations.
You can't see me no more.
Hey, you gotta feel better though.
Dude, it helped my hockey skating so much to not get that extra weight around.
Dude, you lost a person. Like, that's crazy, man. Yolanda, what you got, my friend?
Yeah, and thank you. I know we're running out of time. So you talked about a very great topic today, Eddie. Thanks for sharing about the non-QM space. I think that's a very, very growing and important segment of our market. Now, my question to you is, how do you get the business? What is your strategy for reaching out and telling people about the offering? Because if they don't know, they would not come. So how are you growing that segment? Thank you.
So part of the PowerPoint stuff I'm putting together is some statistics to go into title company offices and just primarily advertise, hey, outside the box, self-employed income, man, we're an expert on that, and start really painting the position. And the motivation is less competition, and they don't shop us. That's one of the key things, I think, is, man, those folks are just thankful when they can get the loan done, and so you've got first-time home buyers, they're FHA qualified, and they're just thankful. But you get more sophisticated borrowers, conventional borrowers, whatever, man, they just start beating you up over an eighth of a point. That's frustrating for me. I think I want to be valued for being who we are, not for.
Amen to that.
Okay, yeah. You're 6.125 and my other guy was 6.25. It's like, okay,
yeah, but I think
that's $7.
I think the bigger point, Eddie, is you're teaching. Like you went from just a loan officer to an educator, a teacher with your title companies, 2 agents. You're teaching them something to talk about how to, different ways to have conversations with their past database. Because if an agent reaches out and shares what Eddie shares with them to their past database, just to build awareness.
Yeah.
Because think about this. The law of 23, everybody knows 23 people, way more than that, but let's just say 23. You got 100 people in your database. You got 2,300 people. How many of those 2,300 are self-employed? They could benefit from this program that don't. It's kind of like a veteran. How many veterans don't take advantage of the program?
Yeah.
Same thing. Self-employed borrowers. There's thousands.
If the stat is true, 30% of those people that we're around are self-employed.
30%.
30%. And so if they can't fit in our box, we just dispense them. And you think, man, these are still, that's a huge bucket.
Huge bucket.
And if you get your agents, fired up and excited about, hey, man, and I would just tell the agents, part of what I'm gonna teach them is, hey, you're walking past business that is deals for you because you don't recognize the opportunity with the self-employed, the DSCR loans. I'm gonna try to get. I don't have a ton, but I want to get more investors. The Hispanic speaking. So
it's a big deal.
The client, the Spanish speaking client, found us online somehow and reached out to us and said, "Hey, you got a Spanish speaker? I'd like to buy an investment property." And so I connected him with Maria, who sends us all her Spanish speaking folks. My wife's a realtor. Normally, when I send them a deal, I ask for a referral fee. I told Maria, she said, "Do I need to give you a referral fee?" I said, "Maria, you send us plenty of business. You're one of my most faithful agents. Normally, I would ask for 25% for my wife, but we're not asking for any of that from you. We love partnering with you. You're fantastic." And so we got to the closing table, and I couldn't understand half the stuff they were talking about. And he says, "I'm fixing to sell a house in Venezuela, and I think I want to do 4 more of these." I'm like,
okay,
holy cow!
Only 4? Only 4?
Yeah,
only 4?
Yeah, come on!
What the heck, man? Come on, girl!
You do this right, we can do 10. And so
awesome stuff, man.
So I just think that's we just need to open our eyes up a little bit to the opportunity.
Be open to it.
I am not an expert on this stuff, but I want to
stay humble, baby. Stay humble.
I want to teach them. Show them, hey, there's opportunities out here. If you got self-employed borrower that can't, just start with us. Like the agent last night, "You do DSCR?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I'm sending you a client."
Talking about
she's waiting for me to call her this morning. So
you guys want to end with a good story? One of my favorite sports people. All right, here you go, man. I'll end with this, and you guys have an amazing weekend. All right.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
All I can say to that is keep failing, man. Keep missing, keep missing, keep missing, keep missing. And guess what? You'll wake up one day and go, oh my God, I can't believe I get to live this life. So
you're in the Hall of Fame.
You miss every shot you don't take.
You miss every shot you don't take, man. So love you guys. So honored to be a part of your life. Humbled that you guys are here and hang out with us. So have an amazing day. Take action. Woo!
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there. We can't wait to see you next Tuesday. Bring your friends. Let's go. Let's win this world, man. Let's win this market side by side. We are better together.
Love you, bro.